There you go.
Uh,
Difficulties.
all right.
Sorry.
Yep, no problem. You guys are leaving the church. You head in the direction the father gave you. You reach the house, and a similar series of events transpires that what happened with Michael and the families there. But it's a different situation now. The mother uh, uh, is like picking in stuff from the garden and behind the house, like behind it to the side of the house. Um, and she sees you all and it recognizes the silhouette of her child, at least.
Yeah. I'm like,
Oh.
I'm
I
like,
was gonna say I would recommend taking him to the toy shop guy before the house.
yeah.
I feel like-
Right, because
I
the
mean,
Clockwork
it would-
Arm would
I'm
be...
I'm just saying it would take longer. I would say that
Yeah,
typical
but I mean, they
social like social behavior, that would be kind of a cold thing to do, to not console the parents first. But it also is in character for Colden, like hard-hearted Lucian to do that. So I will allow it if you want.
Because I mean, I figure it's better to return someone's child with their face
Mm.
and arm, and to just kind of give them half of the kid. Like, oh, don't worry, we'll get the other half back.
If you put it like
you
that.
could take him there and take him to the parents and say,
It could take days to fit a new arm for him.
Yeah, it would take a while to make something like that.
Yeah.
It's not something you can do in like a day,
Yeah,
unless you wanted something very simple. Like a mask or something could be done in short order, but the arm would be more
yeah.
complicated.
I mean, I would at least want to like get him to the guy so he can start making stuff for him.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
a reasonable. I like
Extra.
that. That is fine, and then you can tell the parents that you did that.
Yeah, and then tell the parents, we can bring him back with a mask or whatever
Yeah.
later.
Extra reassurance
You know,
that
this
don't worry,
guy
it's
is
going to
help
be.
you out.
It's
Yeah.
prosthetics are already prepaid for, so you don't have to worry about expenses.
Yep. And the guy doesn't even charge you anything because of
Oh.
his empathy for the kid, sympathy rather.
I give him 100 regardless.
Sure,
Just for heart's
whatever.
sake.
He does it all the same. He's very enthusiastic. Is not the right word. He's very passionate. He immediately gets to work on this and makes it his number one priority. And he immediately is able, and in short order, like while you're there, he even says like, I can make something for his face, and he just takes some measurements of the kid. The kid is like very apprehensive and uncomfortable with getting all this attention and being approached by so many people. He doesn't also know what he looks like. He doesn't really know the full extent of everything. He knows only what he can see from his eye, and that's hard enough already. Anyway, he gets fitted for, let's just say, a crude wooden mask that kind of, not even a mask, it's more like it's a facial prosthetic.
It's
that
a doll's
kinda-
face.
Nothing that crazy, unfortunately. The guy actually says that it's a bit more conventional taste and such. It fits something that kind of gives the kid a bit more of a more round, symmetrical face. But it was done in short order, so it's not very detailed at all, and it's just something that is comfortable enough and makes it less known immediately what the child looks like. Yeah, and it fits to his head with like a leather strap that goes around behind his ears and stuff. The kid is very reluctant at first to take it on, but with some encouragement from the party and from reassurance from the toy maker, he dons it all the same. Confused as to what's going on entirely, but he's also just wants to get back to his parents and doesn't really care about anything else. And then the toy maker also took some measurements of the child's arm, so that he has an understanding of like what the other one should be, kind of in terms of proportions and such, as best he can. It's not going to be anything too crazy. It's not going to be like magically enhanced either. So
It doesn't have any weapon attachments. Oh, what a cheapskate!
It's not Sekiro. Anyway, then you guys go back to the parents' house, or to the parents' house. The mother was doing the gardening, as I said. The father you don't know exactly where he is at the moment. But when you bring the child there, the mother rushes out to meet
Can
you.
I say like I'm like literally standing in front of his missing arm, so she doesn't immediately freak out about that?
Yeah, sure, you can do that. But I mean, it's not gonna last too
It's
long.
like,
but
well,
yeah.
I have good news and bad news.
Yeah, because you guys being there at all is already just like with the bodies before with Michael. They already are assuming bad news. When she looks up at you, she already looked like she was very stressed. Like the way she was picking from the garden was forceful and reckless, and not taking too much consideration about the quality of what she's doing. But then when she turns around and has the basket full of, let's just say, like turnips and other hardy foods that can grow in this harsh environment, so potatoes and turnips and maybe like a cabbage or two, she drops the basket on the ground, and it kind of goes everywhere in her directions. And she runs toward you and looks, kind of tries to peer past one, and it says, my boy, my boy. And she's like mortified when she gets a better look at him and sees what has transpired and all his injuries and the like. She looks up at you all, but this cry out also like gets more attention from those nearby. Some passerbys are looking at you all and watching from a distance, and their own curiosity and astonishment and concern.
Yeah.
But then the father also comes out from inside the house, the door like swinging open very, very loudly, smashing up against the wall, and he has like an apron and some blood on him because he's probably been like butchering an animal or something. And he tosses the apron aside to the door, and he runs over to beside his wife, and is shocked as well, and embraces her as he looks at you guys in the face, and then down at the kid, and he speaks for her because she's like too like shocked. She's just like motionless and just staring and just white faced. He speaks for her and says, "Where did you find him?" Immediately asks, goes for that.
Yeah. I
Lucian
don't know if
just
anyone else
kind
wants to. Yeah, Lucian, you go. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean he feels not responsible. You know, the kid. But yeah, he's just like, he was he must have wandered off because we found him in a cave. And he was not alive. We found him. But you guys have been lucky enough to get a second chance here, and I hope that you do well. And then I tell him about the toy store and
as you start going them in on the toy store, like after you said the first thing, they immediately embrace him, like take him from you, and embrace him all together, the three of them. The mother crying, the son now emoting for the first time in a serious fashion for a long time because he was just too traumatized before, and the father just kind of holding them both, trying to offer them whatever he can. He looks at you with a look of both surprise and shock and concern and gratitude all at the same time. It's a variety of emotions that just course through his countenance. He says, "I am thankful all the same." And you already were trying to help him even more. You are truly heroes we don't deserve. And he just gives you, like, tries to crack a smile as best he can, and tears welling up in the corners of his eyes. He's starting to get to him as much as it has gotten to everybody else.
Yeah, I told him that I already compensated the toy store guy, and then I also like another 30 gold. Because I don't know.
I mean, it's hard to take care of children that are ill and that kind of thing.
Sure.
It's all the same. It's a good thing to do. So yeah, you do that, and he's kind of hesitant at first to accept it because he already feels like you've done so much, but he just doesn't really make much of a, doesn't contest it too much, and takes it, and kind of holding his hand as he is holding his wife and son. They the wife and son eventually slowly make themselves head toward the house and head inside. But before that, the son kind of looks past his mom's leg and back at you guys and gives you I don't know. It's not really much of a look of thanks or anything. It's just a look. He just looks you all in the eyes.
Like he will remember this.
Yeah, he will remember this. A very pregnant pause, and then he heads inside, where he's probably going to be fed and other things. Probably has clothes changed because his clothes are all haggard and disrepair. But anyway, the father then puts out his hand to shake it with Lucian, because that's who he's been speaking to mostly.
Yeah, I look him in the eyes and I shake his hand.
And he just says, "Thank you very so much." And he offers his hand to Darius, Cole, and one as well.
Sure.
Everybody that's there.
Oh yeah, I'll shake it and
Shake
say,
it awkwardly.
it's what we're here for. Well, it's at least what I'm here for. I can't speak for the others.
Let's
go on.
wrap this up first. No. We should.
So yeah, I just wanted to give everybody a chance to see, like, how would they respond to his expression of gratitude? Like, one would take his hand. What would Darius? I mean, Darius is not really an emotional person.
His hand awkwardly.
Yeah, yes, that makes the most sense. Like, you're welcome. I don't know what to do.
Yes, I
Um,
know. Just so.
Yep, that's true too. Maybe handshaking is not really common amongst half-orcs, but then
it's more like head banging.
yeah, like clasping and forceful bro hugs.
Just
and
headbutt
then,
each other.
Yep. And then Cole, what do you do? And he does the same thing he's done to everybody else, is offering his hand and expressing his gratitude.
I would accept it, and I'll offer my hand as well.
Yeah, he doesn't express any sort of apprehension or any kind of forethought at all in his space or anything as far as your racial makeup of the party or anything. That does not at all come into his mind as a concern or anything at all, even subconsciously. Then he backs away slowly, still looking at you all, bowing his head and saying thank you over and over and over again. And then he runs back into the house where he returns back to his family to console them and to help out as he can. There's a small crowd that's gathered around all of you guys, giving you a lot of room. I mean, plenty of room, but there's like probably about maybe 15, 16 people, maybe even more than that.
Do I
all
spot
around
like?
in the street watching you guys.
But yeah, because of the crowd, do I spot like Eric looking through his curtains or something from his house? It's like...
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Eric's in the back, like far left behind. You can see him. He's tall enough. He's standing over like a woman.
Oh, he's there too. I just give him a nod of like, I know he's there. It's like I'm not quite ready to talk to him yet. So.
Yeah, he just nod. He kind of gives you a look of acknowledgement as well, like that he sees you as well. So yeah, this all happens. Drama.
Yeah.
Eventually, the crowd disperses after seeing everything.
Yeah. So given.
Oh wait, I just had an idea. Something I haven't gotten to use whatsoever.
Okay.
I'll see, but
Thunderwave?
I don't know. Is it like can I like address the crowd and just kind of be like, this is more of Strahd's work. I'm sure everyone here has had things taken from them by him, and we plan to attack his castle and once and rid him of this land.
Yeah.
So anyone who would be willing to take a stand with us should meet us in whatever.
Yeah.
Decide.
He's sort of
Okay.
going along
X
the same
amount of
lines of what
days.
I was asking. I was literally about to ask, what is our reputation exactly around town, considering what we've done for these people?
It was already pretty positive in terms of like overturning the burgomaster. And
But then we
now that we've
saved
done
a
this,
bunch of
like,
children for
that
the
much-
for
Yeah,
the walls,
exactly.
and
You've done so much.
yeah. But yeah, go on, T3.
But
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
The people still are very fearful of Strahd, but still, a few men. I'm not going to tell you how many because I want to come up with the literal figures later on.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And putting this all together as far as the attack on the castle is going to be a big thing for me. There's a lot of parties that I got to get involved.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that there is a response from, let's just say, 4 men. Just right now, I'll give you a figure of 4 men of various ages. Like one of them is, let's say, like 17, so an older boy,
Okay.
I guess.
And I'm gonna
And
give
then another one of us
everybody-
like a 50-year-old. Definitely a far reach.
anyone who like says they're interested, I'm just gonna give 20 gold and tell them arm yourself, train however you can, and
You see a lot more volunteers after you see the gold switching
I mean,
hands.
that's cool. If more people come up. I'll
Actually, yeah, I know, and nobody's greedy enough to like respond to just the gold. It's the same group that is there. They all nod to each other, kind of psyching themselves
No.
up.
I
So when
didn't
some
mean
of them
like
are
they
definitely more
volunteer
happy,
for the gold. They're like, yeah, I'll take the gold and like
Yeah.
leave. But yeah,
Yeah. You don't know what they're doing with it, but all the same, the 4 that are there take the gold that you offer. So let's just say 80 gold, and then they're talking to each other, and you hear things about the armory and the smith, and like trying to think about where they could get weapons. And like the older man says, I know a few things I can teach you boys, and that kind of thing. He's like at least 15 years older than the next guy there. Anyway, so yeah, that happens when they all start heading off in the direction of the smith.
If they don't have anything, I'm gonna start taking things out of the party pocket, just because it's so hard to sell shit here in this world. And so I hand somebody a short sword, 2 scimitars, 2 chainmail, scale mail, longsword, flail, 2 quarterstaffs, and a dagger.
Okay. Yeah, that's more than enough to arm everybody. I'll tell you exactly what you take away from the party pocket in a while. But yeah, you can easily arm them all. And
I'm just removing everything. I don't care.
Yeah, just dump it on
Yeah.
the ground. Anybody who wants
Let me
to
just
come
make
get
sure
it.
to copy paste.
yeah, you should probably tell them to hang around the inn frequently so we can get them when the time comes. I guess.
Oh, I kind of had that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, whatever you
Yeah,
got
I was
in
about
mind.
to say we should have like a tax meeting.
I was thinking we should hold some sort of city meeting or something before we go off to, war.
That was already something I planned on doing. I wanted to have like a town hall thing in the Senate session where you guys would be able to meet the nobles finally, maybe resolve some beef or drama.
Rally all the allies
'cause-
together to meet and
Yeah.
plan the invasion.
Get as many people as you can together to
Yeah.
make an attack on Castle Ravenloft. That will cause some interesting drama because there's gonna be people loyal or fearful. Anyway, we're getting to a point where we're probably pretty good on the session, but because I can't think of much else to do.
I mean, I've got a couple of
That's not
stuff to do around
Yeah,
town, but
we'll
it's
see. Yeah, we can probably do that. But I'm just saying, all that happened. You got some volunteers for your attack on Ravenloft. That's coming up soon enough. You take care of the kid. You took care of the bodies. Yeah. So we're sitting. Let's say it's like in the late afternoon. Let's say it's like around early evening. Let's say 5 p.m.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna kind of pull whoever's still there. I don't know. Michael would be joined the party. We're still together.
Yeah, he would have by now. Yeah, definitely. I mean, assuming he wanted to. I mean, I would assume he'd return to the party.
Yeah, we got nothing else to do.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So,
just
yeah,
kinda
the
tell
party
him-
is all together.
I'm just gonna be like, I made a visit to the coffin shop again.
got anything interesting?
And I don't know. I just have a bad feeling about this place, and so I was wanting to check
just
it out.
This town.
No, just the shop itself.
I mean-
something about the owner.
It wouldn't
So
be the
like
first place.
just like in real life, not everyone that's like a creep or
Oh
weird
yeah.
is evil. They're just
Yeah,
socially
that's creepy.
different.
They're all the same. Lucian does get bad vibes from this guy. He's kind of weird,
Yeah.
behaving strangely.
Mm.
But yeah, so he wants to investigate that, which will be a next session thing because that's going to be
Yeah,
big
sure.
thing. But I like that as a that I know what I can do next time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it
Fun.
kind of wanna. Should we maybe like what we want to do in general term? You know what I mean? Just sketch a rough outline.
I mean, we could
Yeah,
do a
I-
quick
I'm not-
discussion, but
I don't
yeah.
know what. I don't think I know everything that is in the name. I can't remember everything that the name was the guy in Movia, right? General
Yeah.
guy.
So I
Yeah.
mean, pretty much we gather like the two other monster hunters. I assume that Deva doesn't want to. The werewolves
No,
are already.
that guy will not do anything to go against Strahd violently. He's too concerned about the mongrel folk. But there is Rictavio, there's Esmeralda, there's
werewolves?
the werewolf woman,
Strong boy
and
person.
you don't know you don't know the status of her husband, but the werewolf woman. There's the dim-witted but big boy in Barovia. That guy actually has some significance because he had
He was like,
a
blessed.
fortune, like a telling
Yeah,
about him.
fortune.
That's kind of interesting. So you don't know exactly what's the connection is
It's a
there.
pivotal
what
moment
the
in
hell
the
is the connection between him
prophecy.
and Strahd, but it's something that's important. Because it came up in the prophecy, yeah.
Yeah.
And now we got some volunteers from Balaki, and then we also now have some Order of Hades guys. I'm gonna have to come up with all these different characters. It'll be fun. I like some of my favorite things to do is besides like writing scenarios is just creating characters. So I really
Yeah, I
create a
mean,
bunch of
that's
people.
the thing with the orders. It doesn't even have to be like humans or whatever. It could essentially
Yeah.
be devils.
You finally use some interesting, races and stuff. Everybody in this country is human, so it's sort of fixed in that regard.
monochromatic.
Yeah.
Just imagine we start sieging the castle with all these humans and stuff, and then all these demons pop up behind them, and just everyone's like, "What the fuck?"
Holy shit! Oh my god!
Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to have like a more conventional for these devils and spooky ass looking priests and shit that all like similar garb to Michael. Probably gonna think of like a paladin and like another paladin, a cleric that's similar to Michael but like a different visually, and then probably like two little devil creatures. I need to look over what the actual options are there, but yeah, probably something like that will be what they send, and
I
then
mean,
you have
did you?
the volunteers and all that.
Are you actually ending the session now? Because as I said, I've
Not
got,
quite.
like-
No,
Yeah.
no. You said you wanted to do something, but we're getting to that point. But
Yeah.
we can do wrapping up stuff.
Yeah,
what
sorry,
do you
I
wanna
got
do?
sidetracked.
No, it's fine. Does anyone else want to ask anything before I do my part?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. So first of all, are there any like letter delivery services, like couriers or something? We can send message. I wanted to send like a message to the place where they deliver the wine to see if they wanted any part of this invasion, like if they had any volunteers willing to
Yeah, let's
assist
just
us.
say there's like a very simple courier system, but it's like got really strict hours as far as like when they're willing to go and move. Like essentially in this country, period, nobody does anything at night. Everybody's inside or in the walls at night. So
Right. Okay.
if they wouldn't leave right now, they wouldn't leave until tomorrow because it's too late in the evening.
I mean, nonetheless, I'd want to pass on the message saying we're going to be prepping for the invasion, like planning. Is there anyone willing to come from your town to join us? But
Okay.
and we'll say like a week
I
from
will
now
prep
we're
that.
gonna like meet or something.
Yeah, we'll set a hard time as far as when it will happen, and we can do like a downtime of prep. You guys can shop, you can make potions, whatever.
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, that's taken care of. That is
I
anything
also
that-
wanted to send a letter to Castle Ravenloft directly to Strahd. but
Can.
I mean, how
courier
much do
will be
we
more
know
hesitant.
about the castle? We found like a model, right? So we know the layout.
Yeah, we got
you
like a
only know
sketch of the
visually what
exterior.
it's outside what it looks
Yeah,
like. But
yeah.
the interior is nothing. And you guys have seen it from when you were down in the village of Barovia. You saw its
Right.
silhouette. So
Right.
again, you're very familiar with the external, but nothing else.
But yeah, I wanted to write a letter to Strahd, which I might as well like write it up inside chat so you can sort of respond to it, like a
Yeah.
declaration
that would
of a war or something.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would be good.
I'm making him a Kaufman. One writing letters to him.
I have everything all very personal. Just saying.
I hope
telling
this
him
letter
outright that
finds
they're-
you well. Well,
Yep.
I'm going to kill you, and this is what I'm going to put you in when you're dead.
Yep.
okay. And the
You're
and the
turning
last thing
around
I
on him. He taunted you guys, and now
Yeah.
you're taunting him.
absolutely
go ahead.
fantastic. And the last thing I wanted to do is like, is there anywhere that's like a siege machine sort of creation warehouse sort of thing? We can like commission a catapult or a battering ram or something.
Unfortunately, there's nothing like that here because that's more advanced technology, not than the era, but that these people can make. The smith is like, and the toy maker are like the most intelligent minds here in terms of what they can create mechanically or anything like that. But that's beyond their capabilities. Nobody's skilled enough in something to make like a trebuchet or anything like that. I mean, you can make like a battering ram. I mean, that's about the most you could do.
Yeah, because I'm
I
like
was-
thinking, how
yeah, 'cause
will
I
we get
kinda
inside?
have-
Yeah.
I have a miniature like battering that I was hard.
Yeah,
some-
that's I know you have something like that. You're right. But all the same, you don't know anything about the castle in terms of the doors might be open. You don't have a clue whether
Yeah.
they're gonna be you're gonna have to run into any obstacle at the front door.
I mean, I know Strahd said he's waiting for us, but is he
Yeah.
really gonna lower the gates for us? Is he?
you
I
don't
hope so.
know. You don't know either way. I mean, he's very egotistical, so he might just think, "Sure, come
Yeah.
on in."
And besides that, we had, at least in the past, we had like a barrel of gunpowder. Is there any way we can
Yeah.
create, buy some of those? That's
I would let you.
I mean,
you
it would
got
have
the
to be an
gunpowder from-
astonishingly high cost, but not
a
so
Vistani
ludicrous.
kind of thing.
But yeah, as far as gunpowder would be very expensive. I would let you acquire like 1, maybe 2 barrels. It would be expensive, but also expensive in a way that they would literally have like not enough supply and also, or may not be willing to give it to you.
Yeah,
But you have so much money that you can compensate them.
because we might as well
like
spend all our
skills.
money on the actual assault. We've got quite a bit saved up. So.
Yeah.
The Vistani
Yeah.
probably have to make a trip out of Barovia to go grab it.
Oh
Yeah, you have
yeah,
like
because
1,000
it's outside
gold
technology,
boxes.
isn't it? Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, they typically have they imported the gunpowder. That was all the way back when you guys took down the Burgomaster, when we talked about the armory and everything. The guns and stuff that they received were very recent, and very very rarely used. It was like in case of a major emergency, that you guys then took one of the barrels, and you took it to the front end and blew it up. You
Okay.
had his cool moment.
I just
But-
wanted to know if we can commission some of these things, like have it prepared on the day. It's like,
I can guarantee that I will give you a barrel of gunpowder by the time you guys attack.
I mean, depending on the
enough for
cost,
a
I could
large
buy
assault.
like tons of them. But yeah,
I don't think they have enough. Is the problem? It's saltpeter. It's something that they can't really make here. Mining is not really a thing in the country. They import a lot, and
okay.
that requires a lot of work with the Vistani. It's a whole ordeal, and it's expensive and time-consuming to get.
I mean,
that
they're only
correct.
the equivalent of a single fireball as last time we used it. But
Oh, I'll give it some like special properties if you're trying to blow up certain things or whatever.
oh
like,
yeah, extra
or
structural
whatever.
damage or something. Sure, fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. But all the same, I can at least guarantee you 1 barrel. I don't know. Beyond that, I don't know. I'll have
Awesome.
to think on it more. But I can definitely tell you that that is a thing. And yes, if this would require you paying, but if you got like if you talk to the toy maker, and maybe the smith, they can work together. Perhaps I don't know if this would be necessary, but they can maybe make a battering ram. But that would be very expensive in terms of like, even for you guys, that would be a lot of money. Because it's
Imagine.
something they make from
I'm
scratch.
thinking something
raw
less
materials.
dramatic, maybe just a catapult.
And we could also.
Catapult's even more difficult than a trip than a battering ram. A battering ram is just
Really? Oh yeah.
I
heavy thing.
assume at the very least they can make a couple of ladders to pull up against the walls.
yeah, ladders, yes, like even tall, like battle war ladders, kind of thing. Yeah,
Siege
That's the
ladders.
thing.
Sure. It's
it's a raw material and like work time that would be difficult to make anything too complex.
If there's anything on the battlements, though, the casualties with ladders are usually very high.
yeah, they're pretty bad.
Yeah, you guys have not. You don't have any clue about what the defenses of Ravenloft are like. You don't even have a clue if like he would even care, or like would he just let you all in and then kill you outright? I don't know.
But
I've
then-
not thought about it, but also I'm not sure literally what's there.
Because I'm expecting like a couple of sessions, like seizing the castle and like fighting to room
Yeah,
to eventually
it's
get
gonna
to
be
Strahd.
practically a campaign in and of itself as far as going through the whole castle and doing
Mm.
all the fighting and stuff. It's going to be
Sounds
very
exciting.
long. Yeah, it's supposed to be like the main meat of the campaign. We've been doing the potatoes.
Really? So most of the campaign is supposed to take place in like
That's a little bit exaggerating, but it's I would say it's at least going to be to do the entire thing. Like let's say we start this A session at the front gate, attacking it.
Yeah.
It would take probably I would say 4 sessions, like
Yeah.
so a whole month to
that'd
do.
be
like,
my
the powerful
prediction
thing,
anyway.
so, like,
yeah.
damn.
It'd be like
Shit.
4 sessions to go from attacking it to killing Strahd and beating the campaign.
Damn.
Maybe longer, I don't know, but at least 4. It's going to be involved. The castle is huge, and it's got a lot in there. It's complicated.
It's not so.
Yeah.
It's not so unexpected when it comes to castle sieging kind of encounters. It's like
Yeah, and I'll have to do some research too if people like have anything interesting in terms of rules. I know there are like mass battle rules and that kind of stuff, but I don't think that Strahd is like a standing army kind of guy.
because there's really
Like,
two
most of the
approaches
other
when it
stuff.
comes to attacking castles, which is starving them out, which I don't think is effective against undead, and direct attacking, which is like just
Yeah.
chaotic and death on all sides. It's like ridiculous.
In an out of character fashion, this is something you guys can't act on. This is out of character information. It's probably not going to be like a prolonged siege. It would probably be more like you just go in and it's going to be room to room kind of SWAT teamy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing, honestly.
Same. I mean,
More like a
he
dungeon.
wants us to come, right?
Yeah, he does. He feels like he outwardly, like as far as what you guys have how you've interacted with him, he is very egotistical, very sure of himself. Does not in any way believe that you guys are a real threat.
Mm.
What he actually might think
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I was assuming that the whatever force we have is going to be preoccupied with siege
Yeah.
as well as dealing with threats and
Jobbers.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like they'll be
All
too
jobbers.
caught
Gonna
up.
be-
Fight
Skeletons and
hordes of
zombies.
mindless zombies.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
thinking
there's
they'd be
gonna
like
be a
fighting
shit
off
ton.
reinforcements, just, and they'll be holding off the reinforcements while we breach the castle, essentially.
Yeah, that's
either
what I was
way,
thinking.
we wouldn't-
It'd be a big old battle going on between your guys' reinforcements and Strahd's forces, whatever they might be, and then
Mm.
you guys would be primarily looking to find and kill him.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that is also an idea. Like there's an open battlefield in front of the castle, and we somehow sneak by, and while they're doing that outside the castle, we're like infiltrating
Yeah,
the castle.
distraction and infiltration.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We did very similar to the Baron's house in that regard.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, your attack on the Baron
Yeah.
house was actually one of my favorite things that happened in the whole campaign. It was very,
What is
very
my ethic
interesting how
to, repeat that. The big of that.
Yeah. I wanted to, before we end the session, I want to see how people wrap up the day because there's one last thing I may want to do.
Yeah.
Or touch upon.
I am.
So how is everybody winding down for the night? And because it was like 5 p.m. when I last left you guys, and
Yeah,
one did all
sure.
her errands.
Oh, sure.
If we're not
yeah,
doing the
sure.
coffin thing tonight, then I'd probably just be at the bar.
Yeah, I was thinking in character and literally it would be next time, so it'd be
Yeah.
next day in the early morning. You guys are going to the coffin,
Hmm.
unless you were wanting to like sneak in or something.
See, I was kind of thinking about that too, but I'm not sure.
It's
Just
like,
saying,
yeah.
it would deprive you guys of a long rest. So that's it.
It's
Oh,
been a pretty long
no.
day. Can we deal with this
I mean,
tomorrow,
yeah.
maybe?
Yeah, no, I would need a long rest, so no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next day.
Okay, so
Want to
you
enjoy
can
a
do
good
it.
half a meal and then just fall asleep.
Hmm.
That poison arrow did hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, some of you guys got very, very wounded. I mean, you've been healed since, but still. That was a damaging battle. Nobody went
Yeah.
unconscious, I believe. Actually, I think Michael went very briefly unconscious.
And of course, 4 died as well.
Yeah, 4 did die. You are now without any doggos, but
Oh, no.
you still, the effects that you have, you still know Infernal.
Sure.
You
sure.
still have like ports on your body. They
I'm
kind of
very
look like this
speaking.
is kind of gross, but like there's these things. I can't remember what kind of flies they are, but they actually like lay eggs in people's flesh.
Oh yeah.
And like
Yeah.
they essentially kind of like make your skin into like a hornet's nest in sort of the texture. Don't look it up. It's one of the most gross things you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, I can
But
imagine.
anyway, just take my word for it. It's worst
You know,
thing
people
ever.
do that on purpose. Like, some
Yes,
entomologists
I know.
do that on purpose.
Because
Yeah.
people are crazy. People cut off their limbs because they literally get off on it. But anyway,
Yeah.
point being, you kind of have like these little potch marks across your body in different places, like in your flesh, and that's where the steam, like the mist and steam, comes out of your body. The more actually, it's smoke, like smoke and ash that comes out of your body when you speak Infernal. It's weird, but it's there all the same. So you have these strange disfigurements, that and the eye, which is
You're gonna make
Not bad.
some man or woman very
Yeah, but
happy
the-
someday.
I mean, I knew about the third eye. I didn't know I had some weird skin mutation.
Yeah, that is something I've been thinking about. It's like I didn't want to just be your pores because I feel like it's a bit bland. I wanted it to be more lasting than that. It's nothing like crazy and disfiguring anything, but I'm gonna say like across your whole body, let's say like 5 or 6 of these ports. If you want to, I don't really want to think about them, but they're not
Yeah.
fairly large or whatever. Yeah, like the size of like a large welt or wart. That's what word I'm looking for.
I could have my own spider army.
In addition to the third eye.
Yeah.
The third eye is way more apparent.
Yeah, I would have
Anyway.
included that when I made the new character.
It's not something
Pitch.
you can see very well. It's not on your face either. They're on your limbs, and one's on on your stomach. Anyway, so Darius wants to sleep. He ate and slept. What are other people doing before I? And where are you doing this? Are we going to the inn? I imagine most people are going to the inn.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the inn. I'm like spending most of the time like writing the letter, but I'm also spending time at the bar saying, "Yeah, that was a great job, guys. We did great." Yeah.
Lucius
Okay, that makes sense.
passes out,
Okay,
possibly
Um,
at the bar.
yeah, that would make sense. Let's go with what is Michael doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of a big day. Ran into an old friend. Questioning his, I guess, loyalty to the order and life choices.
Yep. Did he? When Phoebe did her check-in, did you do one as well, or did you not do anything at all?
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't think it was necessary.
Okay. And are you going to do that now, or are you just not going to do anything?
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna do anything. I'll probably just take an ale up to my room and.
Okay. And what does Cole do?
Turns into a T-Rex, obviously.
Well, yeah. Stomp around the town, crush houses. No, I'm going to spend time at the church. I'm going to spend 5 hours at the church and make 5 potions of greater healing. And then give one to each party member. Here you go.
Yeah, and those are like 4d4 plus 4, right? I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah.
I'll write those down.
Wow.
So
Yeah. I guess we
4,
don't need a
4.
battering ram. We've got Cole with his transmutations.
He is the ram.
Yeah.
100, 150,
Oh, I
200.
have 3 coal potions.
So
That's going to cost me 250 gold.
what was
Yep.
the healing dice
I
on
wrote
that?
it down. 44 plus 4.
4.
I wrote it down in the chat.
Just 250. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then after that, I guess I would go and head wherever we normally crash
Yeah, the inn, the blue. what is
at
it?
the inn.
Blue-
Yeah.
Blue something. Inn.
The blue Pegasus.
And that's when I would have my dream, actually,
Yeah,
because
the
I'm
blue
gonna have a
water.
long rest then.
Yeah. Do you want to start that? You want to do that now, or you want to start it next time? We could start it off next time if you want. Either or.
I
If you want to make
Doesn't
it
matter.
the absolute last spin, by all means.
I had something that I want to do, so I mean,
Oh.
we can either do both. Whatever you want to do. So.
We
I-
haven't had a lot of time with you in this session. By all means, do it.
That's true. Yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine. I still have it available, so I can read my line.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do my dream.
I'm curious.
You want me to read the whole thing, or do you want me?
No,
to,
no.
You can read it.
You just read the angel lines.
Yep. I can do that.
Ooh, back and forth. Nice.
I was actually thinking about this, and I was like, I should have done more of these, since my circle is the circle of dreams.
Mm.
I should have maybe
Should I
have been doing more of these, and maybe time not only to my character, but to the story as well. But oh well.
Hmm.
Alright. Cole exhales deeply. Another day done in this place known as Ravenloft. Another step closer to finally confronting Strahd. As the sun sets, slightly hidden by the ever-present fog, Cole thinks back to that massive tree. The feeling when it was destroyed, even the smell of the area. Seems like a lifetime ago when he felt this way. Cole sets up his bed alongside his companions, changes the area to a relaxing forest getaway, and eventually drifts off to sleep. Cole opens his eyes. At first it's a white haze fogging up his vision. Cole raises his hands and itches, attempting to correct his sight. The haze begins to fade away as the smell of burning wood, hay, flesh, and screams bombard the senses. Cole squints as his vision is returned to only look upon what his nose and ears picked up. The village of Barovia engulfed in flame. Buildings bellowing black thick smoke. Livestock running back and forth in panic. Front gate shattered and haphazardly hanging on for dear life. Cole stands shocked, unable to speak to the violence he is witnessing. Cole takes a step forward. He's weak, but pushes on. As Cole approaches the front gate, he sees multiple guards dead. Scratches across the chest and neck's cut, heads placed on pikes to show dominance. Cole walks through the front gate and sees a humanoid shadow in the smoke. Silhouette of a man, cloaked down to his ankles, waving in the wind. This man begins to walk towards Cole, dragging another humanoid figure behind him by the leg. A tall man appears out of the fog, pale face, blood running down from his mouth. Cole recognizes both men Strahd and the Burgomaster. Anger and fear fills Cole. Emotions competing with each other causes Cole to not react as swift as he would like. Strahd grabs the Burgomaster by the neck, picks him up, and opens his mouth. Two vampiric fangs show. Cole extends his hand and screams, "No!" Nothing can be done. An unknown and unseen force is placed on the right shoulder of Cole. Vision becomes impaired again. Smell and sound dissipate. Cole opens his eyes. Again, vision covered up by this white haze. As the haze begins to fade away, the smell of decay and burnt wood overtake the senses. Cole squints as his vision is returned. His time is different. Cole stands in the middle of a dying forest. Leafless trees, black trunks, visible roots filled with holes. No sign of wildlife. No sound of wildlife. Utter silence. Death overwhelms this place. Cole looks around in despair, knowing that any form of life here will be hopeless. Cole begins to walk forward, crunching sounds of dead branches and leaves under his feet. Cole finally spots some movement as relief overtakes him. But this relief is short-lived, and the movement is familiar. Sounds come from everywhere, approaching forces of unknown beings. As these creatures come into view, Cole recognizes them immediately. Blights. Humanoid plants made from corruption. Cole goes on the offensive. Druidic words are spoken, followed by hand gestures. Nothing happens. Cole begins to panic. Creatures move closer. Cole focuses on the speed of a wolf. Nothing happens. Creatures move closer. Connection to the Feywild is severed here. As the creatures get closer and extend their bark-covered claws, an unknown and unseen force is placed on the right shoulder of Cole. Vision becomes impaired again. Cole opens his eyes. No haze, no impairment. Cole is surrounded by an open plain. Tall grass, wild flowers, flying vermin abound. Cool breeze is felt on the skin as the sun beats down. Cole's back in the Feywild. The connection is strong. Feeling of peace washes over Cole. From behind him, the sound of chanting fills the air. Cole turns around to see a stone altar, laced with wildflowers and candles burning. Sitting behind this altar is a woman, dressed in white robes and massive wings tucked behind her back. Cole approaches with recognition. A closer view shows her whole features. Long blonde hair with angelic features. Green eyes, soft lips. Neck, arms, forehead, and chest covered in jewelry of all types. Cole stands next to the altar. A female not acknowledging his presence. Cole decides to sit down, and both their eyes meet across this altar. Cole says, "I recognize you. The first visions I had of Ravenloft. How was you?"
The angel says, "And what have you determined?"
Cole says, a source and how to stop it. Well, not everything. I know how to stop the person that is causing this corruption, but I don't know how to heal the land.
She responds, "You speak the truth. You do have the means to stop this, but more help is still there to discover. Your thoughts about the land are also true. It will not be restored when this person you speak of is defeated. More must be done."
Cole says, what more must be done? Tell me, and I will do it.
She kind of hesitates for a moment and turns to give him a bit more of a direct glare or stare and says, "You have access to powerful magic, but what is needed for this is beyond your capability. You must pull the energy from another source. You must pull it from yourself."
Cole is confused and says, what do you mean? What do you mean yourself?
She immediately responds pointedly, "Sacrificial magic. That is what must be done. I could show you how, but it's up to you. You must be mentally prepared and focused. Any doubt, any fear, any trickery, and this will not work. You must do this, and only you can complete this task."
Cole lowers his head as he ponders this new information. Sacrifice myself? I don't know. What of my companions? I can't do this. No, wait. I can do this. This is my fate, my calling. I feel I need to accomplish this, but Cole looks up to ask more questions, but the angel is gone. Altar begins to fade away. A cool breeze stops. Sun begins to dim. Once again, a white haze returns. Everything around Cole begins to decay and die. Cole thinks to himself again, I must do this. I must do this. Cole closes his eyes, focusing on his task ahead of him, and wakes.
Yep,
Yeah.
Nice.
that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cole has big plans for the future of the country.
God has
He's-
superpowers.
Well, y'all have superpowers. So yeah, that all transpires throughout the night as Cole is sleeping. But before that, let's say, because I think that attended to everybody. Let's say who would be the most interested in this? Probably either Lucien or Darius. There are two men talking in a booth behind you guys that are at the bar. They're talking loud enough that you can hear. This is either Lucien or Darius can respond to this. You choose.
Is it yeah?
And anyway, they're talking, and what they say is that did you hear or maybe did you hear? He says, so they made it back. And the other guy says, yeah, they're really that good, I guess. And it kind of like looks over the guy's shoulder and looks over at Lucien, who's there drinking, either listening or not. I don't know. And then he says, so they went to that part of the forest, and the other guy says, yeah, I mean, I saw them in the boat, and it's where they said they found that kid, and they recovered Sam's body. And then the other guy says, kind of shaking his head, and says, it's too bad about them, but I guess it's a good thing the kid made it out alive. but I wondered if they ran into the mage. And the other guy says, it's like, kind of leans back in his seat. Like, but that's just a rumor, a legend. Nobody's seen or heard from this supposed mage in many, many years now. But then the other guy says, like, he kind of leans forward a bit more enthusiastic about this, because he's the one that brought it up, and says, but think about it, like, they were there, they saw this cave. He he has to be close by. It's just maybe he was trying not to be seen. He like you just said, he's quite elusive. And then the other guy says, well, all the same, they haven't said anything about him, and so it doesn't matter anymore. And they both kind of shrug their shoulders, and the guy that brought up the mage first said, I guess you're right, and sighs and takes a big sip, like a big gulp from his mug of ale.
Would you like to comment, Darius? 'Cause I
For
would.
sure, yeah, sure. Darius walks down, like, gets a glass of milk, and he's are they like skeevy looking people?
They're I would say they're normal, common people. They're not terribly coming across as anything in particular. They don't look dirty. They don't look gross. They don't look conniving. They don't look anything. They're just normal guys.
Well, that's certainly an interesting tale. Hey, Lucian, wanna accompany me? Just
Yeah.
maybe
I mean,
just.
I'm definitely interested. They're speaking about somebody who I didn't see.
And yeah, so you guys walk over to them, and they immediately kind of give you their attention, because they don't necessarily revere you guys, but they hold you in high regard, and everybody kind of hushes down and gives you a lot of respect.
Yes. That's, listen, couldn't help overhearing you utter something quite interesting at the end, didn't you? Some sort of myth, local legend, yes?
Yeah, the guy that
What?
brought it up initially kind of hesitates, because the man across from him kind of gives him a pointed glance of, like, look what you did, or you dumbass. and then the other guy just kind of shrugs his shoulders, as, like, gives him an expression of, like, fuck you, I'm doing what I want. And says, yeah, there's supposedly there's this crazy mage that lives up near the mountain, Mount Veritok. He kind of just generally gestures in the direction to the north, where you guys were. He lives up there somewhere. He it's said that he faced down Strahd a long time ago, but was defeated.
Oh,
back.
here,
Lucian
like.
says, wasn't the rumor that he died after falling off a cliff?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the same one. He lost his spell book and his wand. He never been seen from again. It's said that he went crazy, and became very reclusive, trying to stay away from anybody that could be working for Strahd. Became paranoid, but no one, at least alive, has been able to give any firm indication of his whereabouts. But it's said that he's still up there somewhere. But the other guy across the table says, but it's just a legend. You don't need to concern yourself with that. You have more important things to do. And he gives the other guy another serious glance, like, dude, don't waste your time.
I say to him, well, the things I have concern with are finding people who can help me kill Strahd, and it sounds like this wizard is someone who can help me do that. Is there anyone
Yes.
in town who can give me more information, legitimate information, as to this guy's?
The guy thinks for a moment. It's like, well, I doubt many of the locals would be able to tell you much more than myself, but he kind of hesitates for a moment, kind of scratches his neck, apprehensive to give the suggestion because you'll understand why. You could talk to that scary-looking fellow that hangs out in the marketplace with that big, crazy cat of his. He might know more.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Rictavia.
Yeah, that guy.
He says he seems to know more about this place than we do, and yet I've never seen him in my life. I know everybody in this village. Kind of just kind of gives a weird look. He's just kind of confused, looking down into his ale before finishing it off with another big gulp.
Hmm. Well,
Just-
luckily for you, that's a very good friend of mine, so I won't from what you said. But
And he just kind of gives you a look of like, thanks. He's kind of like nervous. The guy that's been talking about the legends and stuff. He's a bit more of a like paranoid or apprehensive
Superstitious.
kind of guy, superstitious kind of guy. The other guy is very casual, laid back, doesn't give a shit about anything. Tries not to cause any problems for people. And they say, well, thank you again for all the work you've done. This town, this country owes you all a great deal.
I
Yes,
tip my
sure.
head to him and I say, "Would you guys like a drink? It's on me for the end."
They both the guy that was the legend guy breaks into a large smile. He's the more emotional guy. And he's like, oh, of course, thank you. There's always time for more drinks. And the other guy just smiles and nods and says, thank you, kind sir, or something along those lines. And he thinks he tried to recall your name. It's like
I think they call him the son of the sun now. I've heard that's going around.
Mm.
I like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll just go with that. He says the one that wields that sword, right? You're that one. He kind of like looks at your waist and notices the
You're like the main
strange
guy.
yeah. He notices the I guess it wouldn't be the pommel. It'd be the guard.
The hilt.
Yeah,
just
the hilt, the hilt, and it's like in this handle, and it's like it's weird. It's not attached to anything. And he kind of his eyes widen. It's like you are like, wow,
Yeah.
it is true. That's amazing. Well, you thought it was just another legend. The people here are not always the most happy, so we spin tales to keep ourselves interested. But you guys are just more and more surprising by the day. We'll gladly take you up on that offer. And they both look at you with eagerness and gratitude.
I said, yeah. Maybe if I was a little more drunk, I'd show you guys the sword.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you'd be.
But you just have to
that
settle for my pistol. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so they told you about this supposed mad mage that lives up in Mount Baratok somewhere, at least somewhere in that direction. You're not sure. You were in the right place.
Vaguely
but
that region, right?
We just didn't
Yeah.
know that this guy existed.
Yep. Yeah, you did not come across anything there while you were doing your tracking, or you weren't approached by anybody else or anything like that at all. And no, you didn't see anybody invisible, anything like that, Lucian. So that was not a thing. So you don't even know if he was there or not, or if anybody exists. But all the same, I wanted to let you guys know about that. So if you wanted to make that choice, you can.
Oh yeah, sounds
Definitely
interesting.
interested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's the Compton store.
Also, have we
That'll
ever
be
run into that little, like, I don't know what he was, the little furry guy who...
That guy's still in play. I know what you're talking about. He's like a little jackal man.
Yeah.
He's like a really powerful magic user. Yeah, he's still
Yeah.
around.
Bjorn scared him off, but he apparently could have killed us all.
Kind of, yeah. He could have at least killed one of you at least. He was very, very, very strong.
Interesting guy.
That guy.
He was more obsessed with knowledge and with magic and stuff like that than fighting. He's pretty skittish
sense.
despite his power.
Could you remind me what that part with the fancy writing on the quest board Finn was about? Because I completely forgot.
It was a note from Esmeralda to tell you to come and find her.
Okay. I assume at some point I mentioned that to the party then, because I didn't do that out of character. So sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't notice out of character. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't know where she is, but she is, she said that she's somewhere in town, I think.
Mm.
She just said, come and find her and speak to her. Which, yeah, we can do that whenever.
Okay.
Anyway, I think that is,
Yeah, I think that's
good for the session. Got a lot.
Yeah,
Alright.
definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's good.
Next session will be normal, and then we'll probably, after that, it might be the big thing, the big show. So then.
Oh,
I'll
I
need a
thought the
week for
next
that.
session would be normal. The session after that would be like the meeting of all the people, hopefully. And
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We'll have to gauge it based on like how much we all manage to get done next time. If next time is like all just the Coffin store and looking for the Mad Mage, then it's like, oh well, okay, then we'll do the meetup and all that, the big town hall meeting and prep work and stuff like that. It might be a shorter session. I don't know. There's technically some drama that could ensue and a side quest and some other stuff that could happen.
it's like all
Technically,
kinds of people
but,
meeting. It's going to be like the anniversary episode. It's going to be.
It's more like we want to be like a very dramatic Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I was just
sort of-
thinking that episode
Yeah.
2.
Yeah, exactly. Very similar to that, where all these big people are meeting up and yelling at each other.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, but the week, anyway, I'll need a week before the actual castle and all that. I know I'll need more
Oh, yeah.
time because there's a lot of prep work that needs to be done. Because you guys have a lot of custom stuff. I can't just go off what's there alone, and also I need to account for your levels, which
You probably do that
Maybe
after
not.
the planning, so you have in mind what we're thinking of doing. Like,
right, yeah, it would be done after you guys are done in Balaki, and you're like, okay, we want to head there. And like, okay, then I would end the session, and I would be like, okay, well, I will go off whatever you guys say you want to do and get it all prepared, and
Yeah.
the map and all that stuff. It would be a lot, and then that will be the rest of the campaign. Essentially, it will be
yeah, finishing off the
Castle
big
Ravenloft.
fight. Yeah. It's going to be sweet. It's going to
Yep.
be excellent
Nice.
session. Excellent game so far. It's really fantastic.
Yeah, super.
I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I've definitely had my doubts sometimes throughout the campaign, and not anybody here or anything. It's more of just my own ability, but I'm just a very self-critical person. But
I think clearly we are way past the rough patches. I think the roughest part of this campaign was the initial beginning, like meeting each other's characters
Yeah.
and not too sure what to do. And so,
that is always the most. That is always definitely, especially for a new DM. So I agree with that. There's definitely things if I DM again, which I'm certain I will later on in my life, 10 years from now, where I know things I would do differently. Like there's things I could. The only thing that I would ever say about the campaign that I'm at all certain I did it wrong, quote finger, would be difficulty, and that I did
Yeah.
some things impulsively that, like, giving you guys arguably too much power, or at least didn't scale your threats with that power. That I
yeah,
maybe I like leveled you too quickly or gave you too many magical
there is
items.
definitely a problem with balance and encounters.
But-
Yeah, There's-
And sometimes, yeah, it's gotten better more recently because I've been more hands-on with it and customizing it more. But I couldn't. There was a short time where I was going with just what they put in, and that did not work with the power you guys have attained. You're very capable.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, we killed a bunch of stuff that seems pretty hard to kill.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty
But,
sure your initial
a horror
thoughts.
campaign should be
Yeah.
challenging. It should be that you guys like. Not every single fight should be somebody goes unconscious, but especially the big fights, at least one person's go unconscious. I mean, this campaign is supposed to be one of the more lethal ones, so that's something I feel like I might have bungled.
Exactly.
Mike's goal
Yeah, but I mean,
would be
you also
kill
have
somebody
to
outside of the
consider-
campaign, but
You also have to consider shit like Wizards is not that great at balancing.
no, they're not. They're very, very bipolar. They go from things are way too ridiculously hard or way too ridiculously easy. They don't tend to
Yeah.
thread the needle very well at all.
Shit like it often doesn't take things like that into account, like
Yeah.
magic item progression. Like generally CR just gets worthless when you get up to like 5.
Yeah, no, you're completely right. There's certain levels that when the players reach them, they have dramatically more power, and it kind of gets exponential in a way, especially when you add more players or you add other elements into it. It can just get crazy, and then the only way there could be any difficulty is if I get vindictive, which is not my style. I would rather you guys do cool shit, and it might be a little too easy by some people's measure, than go after anybody. Like attacking you while you're already unconscious, attacking just one person, doing nothing but the same spell over and over again because it's the most effective thing to do, that kind of stuff. I don't really like that style. I don't like being antagonistic with my...
It's just not fun to be like that guy who, uses the same move over
Oh,
and
yeah.
over and over.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's very easy I could pick, like, casting Confusion 5 times in a row rather than using any other spell for flavor. That's the other thing, is, like, making it less repetitive. Not necessarily just the difficulty, it's just for variety. But there definitely were things that, plenty of times where I could have done something that, with what I had available, I could have made it harder, but I chose not to because maybe the session already gone on long, or we already had at least one person go down, or whatever, and I didn't need to make it more crazy. But yeah, so that's something I'm always going to be definitely thinking about for probably my life is in DMing, is trying to gauge how to appropriately make things difficult and
Well,
challenging and interesting.
At the very least, we know the Castle Assault is pretty much end of game, so there's no
Yeah.
excuse for like story continuation for characters
Right.
if you want to
That's
go
what I was
hardcore.
saying before.
Yeah.
I know,
I mean,
that's
I wanna-
part of the plan, is I want to, if I don't kill anybody out by the end of the campaign, like anyone, not anybody in particular, but just period anyone, that would be kind of sad, just because I feel like I'd be doing the campaign a disservice, especially for a horror.
Legit. It's a
focus.
legitimate ending if literally we all die. It's perfectly
Yeah.
fine. We're not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be kind of weird in terms of like,
Like,
dramatic. Like if
you
it was
do
watching
like
a
a-
movie, it'd be a little strange, but you're right.
Yeah. You
No
you
one
do like
died
an
in this
ending
horror
for like
movie.
the bad guys, like they victorious at the
Yeah, it
end.
would be
It's
a
like,
big
there you go.
epilogue, and then
Yeah, there you go.
yeah, Strahd goes on for another 1,000 years because you were like the biggest threat in a long time, and all the next adventurers are less capable. Anyway, yeah, everything went well. The session went well. There was that. I really liked what we did with the kid and the two commoner, the hunters, and all that. That was fun. And Phoebe, I'm glad I was able to do something for Mark and Michael. Get a
Yeah, I liked how that turned out.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like how you got some character development, and we got some side characters in there. It's always fun stuff to do. It's the best stuff.
Yeah,
about the game.
like if he makes it out of this, he's just gonna walk into the sunset and
Yep.
open up a mortician or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Neither does Michael.
Doctor. Yeah, very interesting. And then we had Stu with his major revelation. He's becoming a big character himself. He's gonna
Yeah.
do something
thought he
to
was,
purge
like-
these lands.
But he was originally the main guy, because he was having the vision.
He
Everyone
was
seemed to
a
be fucking
major
with him.
central point, and that people were like, he's the guy that kind of makes everything move forward on like a larger scale.
Yeah.
But I would say that you were definitely the party leader in the sense of speaking for the party a lot of the time, and also probably like a major threat dealer. Just yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
But yeah, essentially how that's going to work out with Cole is maybe once Strahd is gone, the land may not be completely cured, and it may require
Clean.
something more dramatic than just simply killing a vampire. It's been going on for far too long, like thousands of years, maybe.
Yeah. I pretty much want Cole's story to end with him ending. But the only way that would work is if we kill and I survive, and then I
Yeah.
can continue on. But
Yeah, we shall see how that ends up. I don't know.
but if
yeah,
you
you're
want
right.
to, but if you want to add a little bit more, I was actually thinking about something. Like over time, I would accept like what I would have to do, and so then over time, like the angel would like drop hints, tell me like how to do it, like
Yes.
the proper symbols, like the proper words, how to speak them, like how to do the ritual. But I would need maybe certain herbs to like crush down and use as ink to draw out the circle, like in the symbols, and maybe that herb is like in a cave, protected by some mythical beast. If you want to like add anything more.
Yeah, I already have some ideas too. Like maybe we can get you to go back to the Feywild, like one way,
that
like a
or
door
he,
that
like,
goes there, and then you have to come back here.
That or he like offers himself to the wildlife and he rapidly just decomposes into the ground and nature, giving himself up to restore the wildlife and
Yeah, I've already thought about a bunch of different ideas, like a straight up just sacrifice or a major ordeal or anything like that. Yeah, I definitely like the angle of this. We've already incorporated a lot of nature and the land into the plot, and Strahd's influence on it, and like how there's like a sort of he's like a parasite almost. And I like the idea of you take him, but the damage still needs to be repaired. So then a druid would make the most sense for intervening there. So that would make sense. And yeah, everybody's got a major role here, in some way or another.
I thought when you said give him up to the land, I thought you meant just Cole lays down in the middle of the field and the wolves come eat him. Like, my body is yours, nature. Do with it what you will.
Kind of what I was envisioning was that like I'm gonna like write it all out, kind of like narrate my own death, I guess.
Yeah.
I like to like write something out and then give it to you, Shane, like, and then you can kind of like remove or add things like whoever you want on the like final scene of my character.
Yeah.
I was thinking like maybe like as I do it, I just get like absorbed into the earth, or maybe like my body just disintegrates slowly into